So here's a fight I thought of last night. And that was a rhyme, and it was no crime. I'll stop now. Yeah, as you can see, I had this fight in my head, and actually, there's another fight I want to talk about, but I want to go a little more in depth with that one when I think about it a little more. But for right now, how would a fight go down between Steven Universe versus Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man? So, both combatants are pretty young. They've quite essentially taken the titles from their respective others. Obviously, Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe, he took over the mantle of Spider-Man after Peter Parker's death, and Steven kind of took his mother's place after his mother's death. And they've basically taken the titles of the formers and have made it their own. Now, Steven and Miles are both pretty young heroes, and they still have a lot to prove. But here's the thing. How would a fight go down between them both? Now, obviously, Steven has magic. He's half gem. He can pretty much create a bubble around himself that is nearly unbreakable. He created a shield, which he can project or create larger, or throw it like all Captain America style. And, he also has other abilities, like giving life to plant life, like his mother did. He also can now, thanks to his jumping abilities, he can now control the mass of his body and lower the weight of how far he can jump. It's almost like flying, really. It's almost like flying, but it's more like Golden Age Superman, where able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. It all depends on his emotions, though. That's how his abilities work, is through his emotions, especially through love. That's his key factor, is that, love and happiness are his major factors into how he uses abilities. Miles, on the other hand, doesn't really need emotions to use his abilities. As we all know, he has mostly all the abilities of the original Spider-Man with a few extras. Those being, he can camouflage himself perfectly in any environment, clothes and all, and he has venom bites that are so powerful, they actually managed to stun Hank Pym when he was Giant Man. Yeah. Not only that, he can actually use the venom bites like a conduit, and he actually, during a fight with Peter Parker, the 616 Peter Parker, he actually used Peter's webbing to channel the venom bite, and it went through all the webbing and actually struck Peter. However, he does have one minor flaw, that being that his spider sense isn't exactly as sharp as Peter's, meaning that it only alerts him of imminent danger, like if there's something coming at him, like a fist or something, then his spider sense will go off, although I am told that it's evolving more. Anyway, so Miles, of course, has the strength, speed, and he also has the web shooters of Spider-Man. Now, the big thing between these two is that they're both They're both very different combatants, so you might be thinking, well, Steven would win, he has magic. Here's the thing, Steven is still in training. He's still learning more of his abilities. And, he can only hold his bubble and shield for so long, but it's really hard to get past that thing. His shield took a whole laser blast. It took a whole blast from the Homeworld gun, from that cannon from the Homeworld ship, while Miles is also still in training, but he's learned from the best. He's learned from 616 Peter Parker, he's now learning from the other Avengers now, and he took a lot of training from Nick Fury, and a lot from S.H.I.E.L.D. So, however, Steven has learned from the Crystal Gems themselves, and he's also learned by himself how to use his abilities. So, these two are kind of similar. They're both very similar, and, I don't see them, this wouldn't be a fight to the death, per se. In no means this would be a full-on death battle, but what I do see between these two is, I do see a lot of pros and cons. I don't see, Miles being able to break that shield, even the bubble, none of his webbing or even his fists are going to break through that shield. And, however, Steven does get tired when he does use the bubble too much or the shield too much. So, Miles, on the other hand, doesn't have that problem. However, it's going to be kind of hard to hit Steven when all of his abilities are very defensive, and I do stress defensive. These, like I said, that thing could take a whole energy blast, so I doubt anything Miles has in his corner is going to be of any assistance in any way, shape, or form. However, Miles is pretty intelligent, and he's pretty smart for his age, and Steven's kind of gullible. Yes, Steven is pretty smart in his own right. He is kind of gullible. He does take a little for granted. He doesn't really think of a whole plan. He doesn't really think of a giant plan. Hell, his best plan recently was, let's play baseball. And yeah, he usually finds the non-violent tactic. He usually tries to find the non-violent way. And yeah, this fight could easily go, hey, let's just talk about this weird, scary spider guy. That's probably how it would go down. But still, if you were to look for a clear winner, I don't know, because, again, Miles is still in training, but he clearly has his powers down. He's still learning about them, but he's quintessentially got his powers down to a T, and he's learned about them. But on the other hand, Steven's magical abilities really do come in handy when the moment calls for it. So that's that's the big thing. Steven's still in training, but on the other hand, the abilities he does have and is still learning that he can manifest, hell, there may be totally new abilities that he could have at any form in time, at any moment he could easily get, boom, new ability, boom, new ability. But for right now, a lot of it's more defensive capabilities, and there ain't nothing getting past that. I doubt Miles has anything in his arsenal, even his Venom Bites. I don't see his Venom Bites able to phase through a shield of pure energy. Pure magical energy, might I add. So anyway, guys, yeah, this is another tough one, and I was kind of interested, who do you guys think would win? If you think Steven would win, put hashtag Steven wins and list off the reasons why you think Steven would win. Or if you think Miles would win, just put hashtag Miles wins and leave off the reasons why you think Miles Morales would come out on top in this matchup. But yeah, once again, hashtag Steven wins, just list off the reasons there, or hashtag Miles wins and list off the reasons there. But anyway, so really interested to see what you guys have to say about this one. Anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.